Hey everybody, welcome to Eye on the Eye. I'm your host, Triple J Threat, and as promised, following up on the Hillary Clinton email scandal, so to speak, and the FBI's decision or recommendation to the Justice Department to not prosecute. Um, so one of the places I thought of looking first was in my video. Oh, and um, by the way, William Bell over here, who opened up the show, uh, fantastic blues man from way back. Just came out with a new album. He's fantastic. Let's listen to just a touch. Now I gotta go back across the Mississippi, Arkansas. Yeah. Not easy to do there. Sorry. Hey, anyway, I recommend buying it or finding it on YouTube or however you like. Anyway, thought that, the gentleman but the criminal who went and broke into, or freedom fighter for all I know, who broke into the DNC's server and thus discovered the back door, however you want to say, to Hillary Clinton's server. I think that's the way it's gone down, or at least handed out the back door to a bunch of other hackers. Seemed like a person that, hey, has anybody talked with him in the 24 hours that she's gotten away with being prosecuted? So, as you recall, yesterday we focused on him just a bit, and it's right here.
Access a lot of accounts marked down. Is the Clinton server easy or hard?
Okay, so it was easy for everybody. Okay, so I was just wondering, is there any, wanted to just hear more about, is there anything in the last 24 hours from this guy? And they call him Guccifer, right? So that's what I put in, Guccifer. And out of nowhere shows up missing. And I'm like, missing? Since when? So I hit that. And what do we got here? FBI discovers Guccifer is missing from jail after Lynch bill meeting. Guccifer, who exposed emails of Hillary Clinton, missing from jail, whereabouts unknown. 4 days ago, 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 3 days ago. Now, right, with a question mark on this one. A day, 2 days later, FBI discovers. Okay, but then I come on down to here and you can see I watched it. Found dead. Guccifer found dead. Day after Hillary. So I'm like, oh my word, how can this be? This has got to be news, okay? And I've got to make another video like right away. I've got to show people this, okay? So I started to think about what it is could I do to find out whether the national media was covering it. So I started to just kind of search and look, and what did I find? I found CBS. These are all their YouTube channels, okay? Right? Last 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, nothing having to do with Guccifer, the hacker of Hillary Clinton's emails, alleged hacker, but he's going to get prosecuted for such. And but instead we've got news having to do with how Bob Corker removes himself from Trump's VP list, as if that's news. News like this, new video released of Alton Sterling shooting. I saw this on another network. This guy appears to shoot him really from up close. And, sometimes I just don't understand why the police don't really, just stand by until you have overwhelming force. It shouldn't come down to a one-on-one fight. That's just my opinion. But I don't know. I'm not trained in that area, so it's a very humble opinion. And with that said, I've had, fortunate or unfortunate, I've had certainly run-ins with the police through my years, and I must say that most have been extremely fair, and if not above and beyond fair to me personally. So I personally don't have a grudge, but I do watch a lot of these YouTube videos, not only when they go mainstream, but others of just police brutality and what's going on around at the border. It's really tough stuff. So I suggest you check that out, get a little bit more educated, because that stuff is going on, okay? And regardless, let's get back on topic. Anything about Guccifer? No. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like the largest, but I am, the largest cover-up ever is basically what I want to say. But watch this. I'm over here like going, look what it is they do cover. Okay, this is NBC, and we have just got a lot of coverage on Trump, with a little, recommend a day ago on Hillary, and since then, we got a bit of a Trump breakdown here. I'm not going to get into any of this. I just think it's interesting to see what each network is feeding us, so to speak. And so this is ABC, and this is what Eye on the Eye aims to do, is to look at the different networks, the different news feeds, whether they be mainstream or otherwise, and see if we can break down what it is that is actually occurring. Okay, so it looks like the Alton Sterling shooting is gaining traction in a number of places. I find this one amazing. Tony Blair's secret letters to George Bush on Iraq War. So whether it's 2016 or 2003, what is it? In 14 years, we're going to read what it is that China has had in their, in their vault, because they hacked Hillary Clinton's emails. So, what China, has had. And we know they've got it because we're hacking their emails, So it's all a big game, and we're not getting in, I don't think, and it just doesn't feel like to me that we're getting even a percentage of the truth, okay? And that's what bothers me. It all feels like a smokescreen. It all tends to just get us all very emotional. What's CNN talking about? Why picking a VP isn't quite so simple. All the time Sanders called Wolf Blitzer Jake Tapper. Okay, but then we got, we've always got to lighten it up, don't we? I don't mind great human interest stories, but this isn't one of them. It gives me a headache, actually. And what is this? This appears to be the breaking news 16 minutes ago. Loretta Lynch, Hillary Clinton will not face charges. It's 59 seconds. Let's go take a look.
Attorney General has released a statement saying she's going to accept the recommendation from the director of the FBI. Let me read you this statement.
What did I tell you?
It says, late this afternoon, I met with the FBI Director James Comey and career prosecutors and agents who conducted the investigation of Secretary Hillary Clinton's use of a personal email system. I received and accepted their unanimous recommendation that the thorough, years-long investigation be closed and no charges be brought. So, Wolf, no surprise here. She had already said she would accept this recommendation, but by the Attorney General saying this puts at least one close on it. But of course, tomorrow on Capitol Hill, House Republicans have so many more questions. And Wolf, one final political note, that Bernie Sanders-Hillary Clinton first joint meeting, it may be coming next Tuesday in New Hampshire. Early talks are underway from both sides to have a joint appearance next week.
Okay. What has that got to do with the price of tomatoes? I'll tell you, it is amazing the way that they just choose. It's not as if this guy's just freelancing it here, okay? He's not doing what I'm doing. He's over here. He's got a script, and he's told to go and bring the big news first, and then find out and be like, and immediately discount it as the fact that, yeah, well, we kind of knew this was going to happen. So I'm not the only one who predicted it by any stretch. But make no mistake about it, there are elements, excuse me, there are elements within my video, within my debut video yesterday, that I did mention that I've not heard anyone else mention. Mainly, the whole thing with all of the security drills that get run these days that we hear so much about, but I guess we don't run internet security drills. Nobody in the FBI or CIA attempts to break into any one of our own emails as a drill. I suppose maybe that would break a law, and then if they were caught, then they would have to, was it really a drill? So it's all a little crazy. It's just weird when the FBI director says a lot of people knew about the fact that Hillary Clinton was not on a government server, and it just sounded as though he was saying, except him, and except CNN. So anyway, breaking news on all accounts. But to get back on topic here, nobody commenting on Guccifer, and of course Fox is all over Hillary and Donald, mostly Hillary, I would imagine. But blast Donald Trump's casino bankruptcies. It's all in the past. And in less than 3 days from now, we won't even be talking about this quote-unquote scandal. And I guarantee in 3 days from now, if you start hearing Donald Trump talk about it, certainly by the presidential campaigns, conventions, certainly by the conventions, it will seem like old news. By the time he brings it up in the debate, she's going to say, oh my God, that was months ago. It's already yesterday's news. And that's what you get from just kind of looking at this video feed, is that how quickly it goes into the background. And it forces people, alternative media, to focus harder because, and longer than others on a certain topic, because it goes by so quickly. It goes by quicker than the top 40 music hits every week. It really does. That would be quite a case study. Go and put together the number of weeks it takes for a song to go through the top 40, whether it's rise and falls. Maybe it makes it to number one, maybe it doesn't. But how quickly a story rises from one and falls is really much more fast. And I wonder if there is a connection there of any kind, since so many of the people who own the music that we hear own the companies of the music that we hear. They also own the companies of the news that we hear. So, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist there necessarily. I am just pointing out the obvious. So this is what Fox News is choosing to focus on. So there you have it. I'm over here like this. So then, excuse me, 1 sec, sip of water. But this is what it is that I wanted to point out. A lot of people, a lot of people on YouTube, they're not coming here. A lot of people on YouTube jump to conclusions. And as I was saying prior, here at Eye on the Eye, we really just don't want to do that, okay? So this is just an example. I mean, I don't think anyone who comments on 9/11 is, I should have already made a 9/11 video much, very long ago to just help support the community, if nothing else. And I will. It's coming, okay? But it's never overdue. If you're watching this and you've got things that you think you need to get out, it's never too late, okay? Get your feelings out there. Get what it is that your perspective out there, okay? It matters, okay? And so This is what I got with just Guccifer. But then just to narrow it down, I typed in Guccifer dead into Google, and I found this. And I typed it into, Guccifer missing, okay, and I found all that, okay. Guccifer dead, right? So I go, what is this? What is Christian? It sounds pretty legit. I mean, it's Christian. It's the Christian Times newspaper, and they've learned from where, I don't know. They won't tell us. But the Christian Times newspaper, it's right away, pretty legit. It's kind of funny always when I see cleavage like this in the Christian Times newspaper. But that's not their fault, probably. But regardless, they don't have a source, and they also don't have a writer. There isn't anybody taking claim here. Okay? So that's always a couple things to look for. But nonetheless, I am just like, oh my God. Then I see Guccifer is not missing or dead. And I've heard about Snopes. And so you go there, and these guys, I guess, the fact that, rumor has it, that they're going to, when they hear conspiracy theory, they're going to set it straight, or perhaps, I don't know, maybe they'll say it has, maybe I ought to look up a number of topics here at Snopes and see what they think. Obviously, I should, okay? But this one they say is false, okay? And they say that the claim of him being missing didn't get very much traction until July 5th, 2016, because, of what the director James Coney announced. But right after that comes the idea that he's dead, and I'm just like, I'm a little confused. So then I went back, and this kind of did it for me right here. I went to, I don't know who don'tcomply.com is, but I went there, and the page isn't found. So that tells me that they learned otherwise. They pulled it back. Okay? So, I don't know. I kind of feel like I do know. So now all of a sudden, okay, so no major networks are reporting it, and these guys pulled it back. So when I go to Guccifer missing, 4 days ago, a day ago, 5 hours ago, these are the conclusions that I on the eye isn't going to jump to. Instead, we're going to go and look at whether Loretta Lynch, the Justice Department, had anything, to say. This has Guccifer dead, okay, and these guys, 6 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 2 hours ago. I haven't seen any one of their sites. I did watch this video, and in fact, I will go check out their sites. But point is, I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm just saying, hey, let's not be part of the rumor mill. Let's know what we're talking about as best as we can possibly know. And one of the guys I saw in one of the other pages, at least put a question mark to it, as I also did in my first video. In any case, thank you for tuning in to Eye on the Eye. Like we say here, Eye on the Eye presents multiple perspectives towards some of our most controversial topics. Look, expand, subscribe. Thank you very much. My name again, Triple J Threat, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comment section.